Hi, I'm Kristen Moore, and welcome to another episode of Expert Hangout TV. We're excited that you're here, and we have a very special guest with us today, CPA Brian Borawski. And what he's going to do is answer some questions that so many of our viewers have been asking. How do you find a really great CPA when you're looking online? Now, we know that every day there are thousands of people searching online and hundreds in the local Waterford and surrounding areas. So welcome, Brian. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Kristen?
Great, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. And Brian, when it comes to actually finding a good CPA, there are literally dozens of CPAs in almost every city across the nation. How does somebody find a really good CPA when there's 10 on the first page of Google when they look online? They find all these different CPAs. So how does someone know they're really choosing a really good CPA when they're looking online?
The first thing that I'd be looking for is the CPA's reputation. There's a few different ways to go about checking this. You have Google actually doing some of the work for you because people are able to post reviews. And even if you get a referral from someone and you may think that that person's the CPA for you without even meeting them, I'd still recommend going onto Google and checking them out just to see what people are saying about them. After that, I would pick 2 to 3 of those CPAs and then either email them or call them and then see what kind of treatment you get. If you get a phone call back quickly and promptly, that's important. If you have a CPA that's doing most of the talking, I'd also be a little bit wary there as well. Usually what you want to see is a CPA that's asking you most of the questions and then the CPA asking you the questions and then you doing most of the talking, because until the CPA understands your situation, they're then going to be able to help you more. After that, just a couple of things to be careful about. I wouldn't be, or I'd be a little bit nervous about a CPA that asks for a large retainer up front. And then also an opinionated CPA, while you want somebody to help him, you don't want to be boxed into their way of doing things. So if you see a CPA that's telling you you can't do that, or essentially trying to tell you more of the things you can't do, versus some of the things that you can do, then I'd also be a little bit nervous as well.
Okay, great. I actually love the part about the reputation. I think that's brilliant. And people can actually go online pretty quickly now, especially with all the changes with Google, and they can look for any professional in their city and immediately read reviews about them. So that's really amazing advice. And now, like you said, not all CPAs are created equal. And from the CPAs I've used, it seems they all have their own goals and their own methods in mind for my business, but they don't ever really understand what's important to me. So what I learned about your style and how you work with customers, it just seems like you have a completely different process. Can you describe the experience that your customers receive when they work with you and your firm?
Yeah, and essentially the goal is to find out as much about you as possible so I can help you as much as possible. I'll ask you a series of questions. I'm not usually working from a straight checklist because usually the more you tell me, the more questions I then have. I can be reached by phone, email, however you prefer. If you even like to text me, that's fine too. So the goal first is to find out as much about you as possible, then come up with a strategy to, whether it's to file your tax return or if it's some special tax planning that you want implemented, and to get that going as smoothly and as quickly as possible.
Okay, great. And like I said before, you've been practicing a practicing CPA for over 18 years. You have a ton of great experience. I know you have a ton of very happy customers. So for someone that's never experienced working with a CPA or who may be looking for a new CPA, do you have any offers for someone that would like to get started with you? What's the best way for them to go about that?
I do offer a free consultation. So the thing that I'd recommend is call or send me an email, and I'll either meet with you or talk to you over the phone, or if you want to converse via email, that's fine too. The other thing that I usually do is if you also decide to go with somebody else and you ever want a second opinion on something, just pick up the call. Just pick up the phone and say, "Hey, Brian, I got a quick question," and I'll do my best to help you.
Great. Well, thank you so much for being with us today, Brian. This has been a great interview, and I thank you all for watching, and hopefully Brian has provided you with some valuable insights on how you can find a really good local CPA, not only with a great reputation, but with great personalized service and attention to your specific business needs and goals. I'm Kristen Moore with Expert Hangout TV, and we'll see you next time.